gonna pivot. We're gonna talk about the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney fight. Now, I didn't have money. I didn't buy the fight, but I did watch the highlights of the fight, and I did see how many times Devin Haney got knocked down. I think that fight was just on a level of this guy Ryan Garcia was so much more ready, so much more fierce, and so much more to the point of like, I'm gonna come at you aggressively and I'm gonna see if you can stop it. Devin Haney wasn't able to stop any of it. Like there's a big size difference between the two, right? Like this was the fight at 140, was like
It was at
145,
140. They were supposed to fight at 140.
140, right? Ryan Garcia, he weighed in at about 143 and then
143.2.
shot up in weight. He got up to about 160.
Yeah, that's what he said today on PBD.
Devin Haney, he weighed in about 140.
Mm-hmm.
His weight at the start of the fight was like 148, 140, 150 something.
That's the part that confused me. That's the part that confused me was I didn't know how much Devin rehydrated, how much weight he gained after weigh-in. So that part I'm still confused on.
So it's still a big weight difference in that. Like, to be honest, I didn't think Ryan Garcia was gonna do what he did, which would surprise me, but I kind of had a little inkling that this ain't gonna go how people think it's gonna go. Like I didn't think Devin Haney was gonna come out dominating this guy like he's a scrub. No, I knew like Ryan Garcia was gonna come out and still at least defend himself. You know, get points on the board, but I didn't think it was gonna be something where he's knocking this guy down with every other punch. Like, that was crazy. That was crazy. How you feel about that? How did you feel about the match?
I mean, so I watched it. Fortunately, I got to watch it. Shout out to my bed, man, because I was just kicking it in bed watching that joint. But no, so I'm gonna just start from prior to the fight. So, like, if you look at my text messages, like, I was all over the place with my picks. Because, like, I'm texting my brother in one message, and I'm like, bro, I think I got Haney. Like, I'm pretty sure I got Haney because I'm watching like, I wasn't anticipating the fight. So, like, I'm watching all the social media stuff going on prior to, and I just thought that Ryan was, like, fried. Like, I thought he was out of his mind, batshit crazy, and like just wasn't even focused on the fight. Whereas Haney, it felt like Haney was more focused. It felt like Haney was like in a disciplined state, and like he was like genuinely upset, which can go one or two ways. Like when it comes to a fight, it can either play in your favor or it can hurt you. But my gut was telling me Haney is going to win like my gut was telling me Haney was going to win on the points, but I also text my dad and I'm like, I think I got Haney, but I can also see Ryan like putting him down just based on like what Ryan is known for. Like he's known for his power, he's known for that left hook. And so like boom, fast forward to the fight. Like you said, when I'm watching it when it first comes on, I'm like, yo, Garcia looks so much bigger than Haney. And I'm like, that's so interesting to me. I text my brother that and he was just like, man, you tripping, like it ain't got nothing to do with their size, yada yada yada. But he basically wasn't feeling me. He wasn't agreeing with me. But I'm like, nah, like I'm looking at it, I'm just like, he looked way bigger than him for some odd reason. Like, and then obviously today I find out that the day of the fight he had rehydrated up 17 pounds and got up to 160, and so I was just like, God damn. But needless to say, watching the fight, man, like it was just a clear mismatch from the start. The first punch that Ryan landed on Devin was that left hook, and it rocked him. Like it literally, you could see that it hurt him. It was the first punch of the fight. So like you could just see from there that it was going to be a long matchup for Haney. Now I'll give him credit because the following rounds after because he got rocked in the first round. It was clearly going to be Ryan's round that round. But after that, he kind of got it together a little bit. He definitely started to put some rounds together. I just don't. It didn't look like it affected Ryan that much, and so once we got to that point where, Devin had already been hurt, recovering from being hurt, we get to that seventh round, man. It was just like it got ugly from there. And I think,
Yeah.
I hate to piggyback off of other people's points and stuff like that, but I definitely like watching a fight, like watching it live, like in in real time. Like I was so upset with the officiating of the fight. Like
Yeah.
it annoyed the hell out of me the entire fight because I'm just like this ref is for some odd reason deciding to make himself a major factor in the fight when like this joint probably would have been over in like the seventh or eighth round if we're being honest.
Yep.
Like just watching how it was going, this fight was probably over in the seventh or eighth round if the ref is not allowing all this holding to go on, like allowing Ryan to turn his back as well. So I'm not gonna be too biased about it, but like he was just allowing way too much, and it was like it was frustrating. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, like it annoyed the heck out of me the entire time. But after that point, you could after that point, as far as the seventh round on, you could just see who the winner was for sure. Like it
Yeah.
was clearly a mismatch.
Yeah, it was a mismatch, and I think with Ryan, like, all right, like where do you go from here? Who's your next opponent? Who's your next opponent? Like, do you do another, Tank versus you bout? Is that gonna happen? Like Ryan just said on the PBD podcast, Devin Haney hits harder than Tank. So it's like okay, and it's like he wants this to be to promote the next fight of all right, I'm gonna do Tank again, but that's not gonna happen in another 2 years or whatever the case may be. So what's the next step for Ryan Garcia? Who does he go to fight next? Who's his next opponent? What happens with Devin Haney? He was a pound for pound. Now he lost to Ryan Garcia. Where does that put him on the totem pole? What's next for him? Does he take a little break, a little hiatus, and take some time? I think he does. I think he needs that because the story goes, you were disciplined during training camp. You were this, you were that. But Ryan Garcia was drinking alcohol every day during training camp. So clearly, there's a distinguishment between the two. Like, does that shit really matter? Does it really matter? Like, does it really factor in? Which is, and I know like Ryan Garcia definitely wasn't like just drinking beer. All he definitely was training hard and focused for the fight. But his antics created a story where it took away from the seriousness. Everybody thought he wasn't serious. Even Devin Haney, he said in the post conference, I didn't take him serious enough. I didn't know I'm gonna be honest, I didn't take him serious. So you don't even take this fighter serious. That's what he did that to make you not take him serious, so he can dominate you,
Yeah,
which he did. All of it was a whole ploy to get people to lower their guard. So as soon as he get in the ring, he can bum rush you and get you off your guard.
yeah. No, I mean, that's unfortunate on Devin's end because like you should never go into a fight underestimating any opponent. Like no matter what you think they got going on, they fought 6 times before this in the amateurs. So
Yep.
this dude can fight regardless of any antics that he got going on, anything like that. Once you get into that ring, you prepare as if your life is on the line because you could lose your life in that ring.
Right.
Um, so hey, that's on him, man. If you didn't prepare the way you were supposed to, uh, if you ask Ryan, it don't sound like he had the strictest camp, but it definitely sounded like he was working in spite of all the stuff that he was saying, and doing. So, in terms of where he goes next, man, it all depends. Like you said in that interview with PBD, he said that he wanted Tank again. Um, he said he wants Tank at 140. I think Ryan thinks that he has a bunch of leverage that he may or may not. I may not know. Like maybe I'm misinformed, but I don't think he has as much leverage as he think he has when it comes to fighting Tank. Everybody else, I could see where he would have that leverage. He mentioned Tank's international star power, like
Yep.
his international draw versus his domestic draw, which may be fair, but like you know, I again maybe I'm misinformed, but I think based on Tank's resume, Tank got a fight coming up anyway. He fighting Frank Martin, but based on Tank's resume, based on the fact that they already fought and he knocked him out, um, I know, Ryan is blaming it a lot on the rehydration clause,
Which is a big thing, though. That's not no little.
I mean,
That's a big
it's
thing.
not a little thing, but even if they fight it like at 140, Ryan already said that his body can't go down to 140, and Tank ain't coming up to 147, so
Yeah.
they got to fight at a catch weight. They probably put a catch weight at 145, and then at that point, I still like
Yeah.
if you rehydrate and up to 140, I mean up to 160, Tank is not his body is not going to support rehydrating up that big. He don't he that's not how he fights. So I just don't see how they realistically get that done if he's fighting at that size.
I think if Ryan is able to go into the fight to fight Tank at the way he fought Devin, oh, he's definitely gonna win that fight.
I mean, if you rehydrating up to 160, I probably am taking Ryan because he's just naturally bigger. Like he was
Yeah.
already taller than him, with a longer reach than him. Tank is a small dude, So if Tank's natural fighting weight is 140, maybe 145, and Ryan's rehydration natural weight is 160, then like he need to be moving up to that weight class. But I would love to see him in Tank again. I would love to see him in Boots. Um, it's a couple other people that I'd like to see him fight. It all just depends on the weight class that he chooses to fight in, because clearly I think his body can fluctuate enough to where he can kind of play it. Um, I don't. He's clearly not a natural 140 fighter, so like I don't even know what. I know the names, like the names of people to fight, like, and the draws are probably closer to the 140s.
Yeah.
So that's probably where the money is at. But like I don't know, if you listen to him, he says that he can't naturally make, like, his body can't get down to 140. He said it's impossible.
No. No.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I mean, I don't know who he's gonna fight next. I mean, all I know is like he does have a lot of like I will say his draw power. I'm not gonna say it's bigger than Tank's, but he does have a lot of draw now. Like he has a lot of options. Like he can because he's gonna draw a crowd. So he has a lot of options. Now the Tank fight is definitely not happening anytime soon. That's just he just has too much momentum on his side. They gotta be Gavanta's camp gotta be strategic because this guy coming in with so much momentum, and then Gavanta got to turn around and train and this and all these different clauses and contract. It's a lot. So they're probably gonna wait until like a year and a half, 2 years till the steam dies down. But for Ryan, I mean, I don't know who he fights next, but whoever he fights next better be prepared because this boy he's not a one hit wonder type of kid. Like he's not. Oh, this is gonna be. Oh, he knocked down Devin Haney. That's it. No. It's gonna be a continuous thing. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. I definitely want to see who's gonna be next on his chopping
It's
block.
not even just
Especially
that
if
he knocked down Devin Haney though. Like, he's gonna be such a draw right now because he dominated. Like it
dominated,
was it
dominated.
was just obvious domination. It was
Yeah.
obvious overpowering. So like, yeah, I definitely get why that makes him, you know, a draw, like a big draw right now. I just don't know. Like I said, Tank is fighting in a couple months. Um, fighting Frank Martin, as far as I know. Like, if as long, I mean, if, and Frank Martin isn't a name, like, I'm sure most people aren't gonna know who that is just off the top of their heads. But like, if he finds a way to be as dominant in that fight as he has been in all of his fights, I just don't. I don't. I think the draw for Ryan is strictly based on like internet presence and personality, as opposed to like the actual like entertainment of boxing. I know that goes a lot into it, but I don't know. I think Tank is the more decorated fighter.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And he has a little bit more time on his belt.
Definitely.
But we gotta wait and see, man. Only time will tell with these with Ryan and Tank and where their careers, if they are gonna make a part two, if that's gonna align, we definitely gotta wait and see.